Welcome back, tribe. Let's get into it. Another one from It's Complicated.
What are the qualities of a high-value man?
Ooh, someone sweet, caring, loyal, trustworthy.
Has money.
They can do something for you without asking for anything back.
Respect, money, and
there it is.
loyalty.
Yeah. Okay, would you say that for most women, looks, money, and status are part of that?
Yes, oh, completely, 100%.
Okay. Do you believe that every woman wants a high-value man?
Yeah.
I believe every woman wants a high-value man, yes.
But not necessarily gets a high-value man.
Exactly. They don't get it, and they don't seek out for the right ones, or they just settle.
A lot of people go after status and money and looks.
Would you agree that looks, money, and status are part of that equation for most women?
For most women, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why would a high-value man with lots of options choose you
Here
to
we
be his
go.
one and only woman?
Because look at us, we're baddies. Like we're bad as fuck.
Pause, bro, please, with a freaking confidence.
Bruh.
This is what happens when they get so many simps in the DMs, in the comment section, constantly telling them what queens they are, how beautiful they are, and it's straight bullshit. They don't understand that half these men don't give a shit. They just want to sleep with them, and they think a compliment is their way in through their panties. It's such a joke, dude. And then you get, by all accounts, I'm going to be nice here, average women talking about they need a top percentile high value man. What? What? Can you cook? Can you clean? Are you a supportive person? Are you good with children? I mean, just a cooking conversation alone triggers all of them, because cooking these days to them means putting something in the microwave and having it done in 3 minutes or less. That's not cooking. Taking out the box of pasta and boiling it, following the directions on the back of the box is not fucking cooking, dude. Making shit from scratch. You ever baked bread? You ever kneaded dough? The answer is no, you haven't. Vast majority of them cannot cook from scratch. Pasta Alfredo is not fucking cooking when you just throw shit in a box with a packet of spices and you're done. Such a clown show.
Fuck, and I'm wifey material.
What can you offer a man that no other
How,
woman has?
Sway?
A wifey that will take care of your kids, work, that's not a bum, doesn't have to pay for everything, you know?
But don't you think that there are like countless women who can offer the
For
same thing?
lifer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
What percentage of modern women are suitable for marriage and why?
What percentage are suitable for marriage?
Probably
What would you say,
5%
roughly?
or less.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Suitable for marriage. So meaning you have a woman that at least wants that.
1%.
Wow, I'm going to go,
Come on, my guy.
I'm going to say 10%.
Wow.
Okay.
Why is that?
Because most women think they're better than they think they are.
Interesting. Okay. If women are so strong and independent, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
Because that's how you grow up. Like it's the white picket fence. It's the, your dad did this, and like, you're a princess and all that. Like, yeah, that's not true. They were sold a false reality.
Yeah, and by the way, it's perpetrated by the fathers, because my little princess syndrome is very real. You have these beta bobs that are these weak husbands with absolutely no spine that spoil their daughters, literally spoiling them for other men. Like, no good anymore for marriage, because daddy got me everything. Daddy never said no to me. I don't have any boundaries. Anytime I ever wanted anything, the man in her life, dad, buckled and gave her everything. This is how you get the princess syndrome. And this is how exactly you grow these kinds of women. Think about it. Society has demasculinized men. In majority of the households today, women wear the pants. And daddy is just a walking wallet with no respect. So what happens when your daughter wants something? Little beta Bob is going to get anything and do anything for his little princess, including things like catching her with her boyfriend when she's like 15 in the house. You're not going to do anything. She doesn't get grounded, nothing. You're like, oh my God, I hope you guys use protection like I taught you, sweetie. Walking in on her getting pounded out by 3 dudes or something. I've heard stories of that, man, with these really weak-ass fathers that tried to be their daughter's friends. And then she catches 100 bodies before she's 18. Good job, bro. Just setting her up for failure.
What are your thoughts on the following expression? If you chase women, you'll eventually run out of money, but if you chase money, you'll never run out of women.
Honestly, yeah, because we want the money.
He knows because he got money. Every bitch
Yeah.
gonna sleep with him.
Well, in other words, okay, is it realistic for women to expect absolute loyalty from the high-value man every woman is chasing?
No.
So then why do women expect loyalty from all the high-value men that they're chasing?
Mate guarding. It's their way of coping.
That's a good question.
Here's really what it is, boys. Let me break this one down for you. Cheating to men and women are two different things, just like we love in two different ways. A man provides a woman with security and resources. A woman provides a man with sex and babies. Under that contract, this is like deep, underpinned in biology, a woman cheats on a man by giving up her body to another man. We don't care if she emotionally connects to some guy at work and she uses him as an emotional tampon. That's absolutely no threat to us. She can do whatever she wants as long as she does not give up her body, her womb, to another man. I don't care if you cry to some dude at work. Don't give a shit. Now, for women, it's your resources they care about. So a way you cheat on your woman is if you give your money away or have a baby by another woman. That's threatening her resources. That's breaking her contract. Because if you're just a dog and you sleep around, but you never get another woman pregnant, you never give them another dime, or it doesn't affect her position in your relationship, it won't be an issue. As long as you understand that biological contract, then you'll understand the reality of human nature. Now, some people like to get greedy. That is why they do these things like mate guarding. That is why they put stipulations on things. That's why they give out ultimatums. It's just a form of control. But as long as you do your job and uphold your part of the contract, then you're in the clear, both of you. Hence why you hear things like women are more likely to forgive physical cheating than they are emotional cheating. They cannot stand you emotionally bonding to another woman, say a work wife. Come home, tell her like, oh my God, Stacy at work, she's so amazing. We're getting coffee together before work. I feel like I can confide in her. She's the only one at work I can talk to. Yada, yada, yada. That rings red flags in her head far more than you going out with the boys. You got sloppy, smashed some chick. You don't even know her name. Both of them are going to piss her off because, again, the potential for getting a chick pregnant and splitting resources. But the other one is far more dangerous because the work wife Stacy is taking over your mind. It took her months, potentially years, to get the emotional attachment out of you. And now she sees that slipping away towards another woman. That's a threat to her resources. The game is cold, boys. Learn to play it.
Shit, I don't know on that one.
What are your thoughts on the following expression? If you chase women, you'll eventually run out of money, but if you chase money, you'll never run out of women.
That is 100% facts.
Okay, so should men chase women or should men chase money?
Men should chase money. Money attracts females.
Yeah.
That's an awesome expression. It's so true.
So then, once again, why do so many women chase the high-value men, but then expect those men to not be with multiple women?
Right, right.
At what age did you first realize that you had the power to influence men using your looks?
Oh, I would say like 14.
I'd say recently, starting working at the club, making money for it.
Okay, and how were you able to influence them?
Just by,
Come on.
I don't know, you could just kind of look into their soul and kind of control them. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's sexualizing yourself and promising sex, whether overtly or covertly. That's essentially the game. This is how women string men along for years, potentially, getting stuff out of them with the promise of maybe one day I get laid, hence the nice guy game. Hence why they finish last or never finish at all. This is why you need to have boundaries, man. Never be friends with women. Have strong boundaries, make demands known, your needs met, or bounce. Or you get strung along. You're the one that's getting played here. You become the hoe in that scenario. She's using you for your valuable time and resources that should otherwise be going to a woman that's giving you love in return, sex in return, etc. Are you a hoe or not?
We would make accounts as kids, and there was grown-ass men texting us like, hey, baby, what do you want to do tonight?
How were you able to influence these men?
By posting a picture of my
Literally,
face.
by posting a picture.
Like, men are weird. Men are weird.
Is it possible
Men are
to
weird.
be a hot girl in a big city and not let your ego get the best of you?
Absolutely.
Is it likely?
Probably not.
Is it likely?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because if you have people telling you every day, you're probably going to get a big ego about it.
Because of Instagram and because of social media. So
Yep.
It's like,
So does social media inflate an attractive woman's ego?
yes.
How many selfies is too many?
10 selfies to me is too many.
Does social media inflate an attractive woman's ego?
Yes.
How many selfies is too many?
Posting every day and being annoying about it. Yeah.
Is too many selfies a red flag?
Yeah, probably you're a little conceited, a little full of yourself, expect a little more.
Yes, it is. Wait, for men or women or for both?
Well, I don't know. What's the difference?
Okay, for men, they don't usually do selfies unless they're trying to get other females' attention.
Okay.
And then for girls, we do it because we're females. We always take pictures and shit. Like, we don't, like, just post it for always for dudes.
Do you think you're more likely to meet a beautiful woman who's down to earth or a wealthy man who's down to earth?
I don't know. I feel like I couldn't say either.
Which one was more likely to overcome hardship?
I can't say either because both can go through hardships, you know.
Which one was more likely to overcome
Never
hardship?
give it. Can never give it to a man.
Woman.
Probably, yeah.
But didn't the man typically have to earn his status, and women are typically born into their status?
Yep.
Well, which one was more likely to overcome hardship?
To overcome it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say women.
Come on,
Okay,
man.
but didn't.
Do you see how they cannot give one to a man? Not one. They're professional victims. They star, direct, film, shoot their own movie in their own little head where they're the center star role of everything. They cannot empathize with men's issues. No woman can empathize. They can't place themselves in our shoes. Our world is so different from theirs. It's incomprehensible. The last time a woman put herself in a man's shoes literally had to off herself years later from the damage. We covered that on this channel. She didn't even last the 2 years. She quit 18 months, I believe it was. Checked into a mental asylum. Literally needed help on how hard it was to be a man. And then ended up, she said it herself. This was a lesbian feminist that did this. Dressed up as a man, tried to live as a man for 18 months. Said she started hating women towards the end and couldn't wait to go back to being a woman because it was a privilege. Yet every woman that ever gets interviewed is going to tell you that they have it harder, that it's just so difficult for them, that men have it easy because why? The only men they see are the powerful ones at the very top. Average men are invisible. They don't know your plight. They don't care about it. You're disgusting. You're something to be discarded. You're tarnished genes. Work like a drone and then die. That's your use in society. But for the top percentile man that they see, that's where they think, all men have it easy. All men get to choose everything. All men hold power because they're not looking down, they're looking up. That's the same way they date. They date up, they never date down.
Didn't the man typically have
No,
to earn
it is
his
the
status,
man. Yes.
and the women were born into status?
Yes.
So, are beautiful women more likely to lack self-awareness because they haven't been humbled?
Yes.
I could believe that, yes.
Okay. And lastly, what is the most humbling life event you've experienced?
The most humble and I think it was when my ex-husband died. I think it humbled me a lot.
It's funny, I was talking to my neighbor about this yesterday, and she was talking about her aunt who goes and meets these wealthy men. They have 58-foot yachts, things like that. And she's on her fourth marriage to one of these guys. And she says, but they're really nice guys, and they're down to earth. I go, these guys are multi-millionaire, billionaire status, Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, fuck you money.
Yeah.
They are not nice guys. They don't make it through corporate America as nice guys. That's a misnomer. Whoever says that is a fucking idiot. These guys have sharp teeth. Mark Benioff, his wife would fucking rip you a new asshole, let alone him walking into the room. Forget about it. I live in San Francisco. I've heard stories about his wife. Richest, one of the richer guys in the city. But is there a down-to-earth, wealthy guy? No. Are there hot girls that are down-to-earth? Absolutely.
Okay, but at the same time, though, I mean,
What?
the guy who was born into it might be different, though, than a man who had to earn his money, right? Because the man who had to earn his money, wasn't he more likely to face hardship?
Yeah, but now we're talking about this fucking segment of a hot chick that's a bitch. You know what I mean? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, now we're starting to slice this salami. And I don't think if we start slicing this salami in these different segments, I think we're still going to get back to the same bullshit. No, there's no fucking wealthy man that's down to earth.
Who has it?
Sounds like a socialist with low testosterone.
easier in society?
Definitely men, because they get
There you
paid
go.
more and they also don't have to deal with
There
sexual
we
harassment in
go.
the streets. And if they want to be shirtless, they also don't have to worry about somebody looking at them
Wow.
like they're just throwing themselves out there.
Straight out of your liberal classroom, boys. Parroting point for point. Hope that 100K in debt was worth it, sis.
Okay, so since you believe that, would you be willing to switch gender roles with a man?
No, because I like being a woman.
Oh.
Well then, wouldn't that prove that women have it easier in society? Otherwise, women would want to switch gender roles.
No, that is not true.
No.
Women don't have it easier.
We get judged way more than men.
We look better. We possess more in life because we actually bring forth life. Men can't do that. But
once again, then why wouldn't women overwhelmingly want to switch gender roles if
it
men
would
have it
only be
easier?
for money. It would only be for money for a woman to try to be a man. But I mean,
Why are women proud of being bitches?
Because it inflates their value. They think, oh, here's why. It gets back to the
What?
7th grade. It gets back to this 7th grade girl thing. If you remember in 7th grade, the girls would all run around on the parking lot there.
Get this
at
guy
recess,
off.
on the playground. And they would then run to the one or two most athletic boys on the playground, and there would be this sort of group of 5 to 7 girls. And even the ugliest group, the lowest of that, she would still act like a bitch because she wants to perpetuate the idea that her value is high. So for a female to reject you is perpetuating this signal to the high value men that she is of high value. She's willing to, a nice average guy, she doesn't want that. She's willing and waiting for the high value man.
What is this guy on, bro? Straight out of your socialist classroom, eh? What does her rejecting a man she doesn't find attractive at all have anything to do with her signaling to a, quote, high-value man that her value is actually higher? It's just her not being interested. 80% of the men are invisible to women. They literally rate hot or not, 20-80. There's no in-between. There's no average for them. You're either extremely attractive or you're extremely ugly. Get away from me.
So that's a sign, and that's why they act like a bitch. It's insecurities, too.
Would you agree that the natural sexual dynamic between two people is dominant and submissive?
Normally.
Yes.
When do women want to be dominated and when do they want control?
Okay.
Well, I like to. Okay, personally.
In the bedroom. Say it.
Personally, I like to be
I like to be controlled.
I like to be controlled too. I was gonna say dominated.
I'm not dominant.
I'm not dominant, but I can be not in
Come
the
on.
bedroom though.
There you go.
Are women attracted to male dominance?
Yes.
For sure.
What is the difference between being dominant and being controlling?
Controlling is aggressive and not what a girl wants, and dominant is sexy.
How can a man dominate a woman who doesn't submit to him first? Wouldn't that be controlling?
Say it again.
How can a man dominate a woman who doesn't submit to
Lost
him
her.
first? Wouldn't that be controlling?
Not necessarily. If he tries a more submissive approach at first and wins her over with the submissive.
You want to know the difference between dominant and controlling? How attractive you are? Confidence. If she deems you worthy of submitting to, it becomes he's dominant versus he's controlling. If she's resisting you leading her, she doesn't respect you, doesn't find you attractive enough, doesn't find you man enough. She's not looking up to you. She doesn't, it's respect, bro. That's really what it is. You're not a man to be respected. You don't command it from a woman. She will not submit. Therefore, you become, in her eyes, controlling. Now, if you're the shit, essentially, in her eyes, anything you do, just telling her to go do this, put that up in the kitchen, cook for me, do this, all of a sudden becomes, I have a dominant man. I like to be submissive to him. But the same beta Bob that tells her, can you make me a sandwich? Stop being controlling. Stop telling me what to do. Make your own goddamn sandwich. Versus, yes, King, if it's Brad Pitt. Yes, I love it when you tell me to cook for you. Come on, bro.
Submissive approach, I guarantee she'd let him be dominant.
No, she wouldn't.
Why do women often require a
God.
man to prove his dominance before she will submit?
He has to be worthy.
Because a lot of women have been hurt. Same thing.
It's a shit test, and it's a very simple one. She has to find out if the man is exhibiting an authentic masculine energy about him, or if it's a facade. Like if she pokes your ego in some sort of way, makes a joke, or puts up the shield and you crack, your frame crumbles in front of her, she knows it was all a facade. She knows it was fake. You're just putting on the alpha male macho machismo energy, and that she was able to break it by simply denying you. That's the test. If you don't fail that test and you pass, you are now, quote, dominant in her eyes and not controlling.
Same thing with men, of course, but a lot of women, have been hurt and don't really know how to go about that.
I feel like a lot of women submit to them, and like it doesn't have to be a verbal agreement. It's just something that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do women often require a man to prove his dominance before she will submit?
To know
For
that
her own
he's
protection.
Worth it.
There you go.
Isn't the woman exhibiting the ultimate dominance by requiring those terms?
I don't know. Say that again.
Isn't the woman exhibiting the ultimate dominance by requiring that the man prove his dominance first?
Yes.
I think so, yeah, pretty much.
So isn't that a catch-22? If women are attracted to male dominance...
But we're in control of the situation.
So then the man is submitting to the woman then, right?
Yeah, that makes us dominant.
Yeah.
So how does that make any sense?
No, you got us.
You got us, yeah.
Because the relationship is sort of guided by a woman and dictated by a woman and created for the woman. A lot of guys, unless they're ugly and their girl's hot, they don't want to be in a relationship.
When a woman decides to give a man a shot, is there a window of time for him to close the deal before she gets bored?
Yes.
Yeah.
So timing is important.
Yeah.
Are young
Strike
women
while the
aware
iron's
that
hot.
they will have peak years of beauty, fertility, and dating options, but will lose influence over men as they age?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So why do women often choose to wait for romance and focus on their career when their own window of time is the most limited?
Got sold
because
a dream.
at the end of the day, the most important person is yourself, and you got to take care of yourself before you take care of anyone else.
So wouldn't the best outcome there be to nab the highest value man you possibly could so he can take care of you, do all the heavy lifting, like in the traditional sense, instead of gambling on hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt for your liberal arts degree in woke college campuses that may not pan out as you want it, because you're in for a long road with long hours, potentially bleeding into the weekend, to have a job that's high paying, that's super competitive, that requires you to constantly be there and forego family. It's essentially one or the other. You can't have both. So one leads you to a life of cats. The other one leads you to a fulfilled life of building an entire family, coming together with a man, working together and building a legacy. We don't do that anymore. They got sold a lie, man. It's unfortunate because a lot of them, we saw the TikToks, they're waking up 35, 40, their minds change, the clock's ticking super loud in between their ears, time's running out, you go get a hospital checkup, oops, infertile, oops, need to do in vitro, oops, surrogates, oops, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and still no man present. That's progress.
Else. And love yourself before you love anyone else.
Do you think if young women became more aware of their window of time, their life priorities would change?
Yep. Oh,
No.
yeah.
I think it just depends on the type of woman. If a woman wants to grow and have children and that's how she sees her life, then I'm sure she will be the type to go and have kids at an earlier age. But if a woman just wants to focus on her success and focus on her mental health and things like that, I don't think her priorities will change.
What does it mean when girls talk about
Exceptions to
having
the
a
rule
hoe
don't
phase?
count.
Dude, college years, everyone, my mother, everybody.
You might have gotten your heart broken, and honestly, you're trying to openly express yourself. You're exploring your options.
Oh, is that what it is? Exploring options, expressing yourself, catching an STD here and there, potentially getting pregnant, emotionally numbing yourself, can't bond anymore, hating men afterwards. Why won't no man stay next to me? Nobody commits. I'm getting pumped and dumped and ghosted. Yes, great exploring there.
So you have a hoe phase, but when it comes to a hoe phase with women, there is a like a talking hoe phase, and then there's a sexual hoe phase.
Do you
There's
think
only
women's
one
dating
kind of
options
hoe phase.
increase or decrease with age?
I would say increase, definitely. You get more
Bruh.
wealth, power to you.
True.
Is that typically what men look for? Do they look for wealth and power in women, or do they look for youth and beauty and fertility?
I want to say younger, especially because, I don't know, as you get older, you know, there's people with like...
So quick to go back on their initial statements, huh? You just catch them in a logic trap and they go, oh yeah. NPCs, boys.
families and it's harder to date and yeah.
So why do women's standards often increase as their options decrease?
Because they've learned, yeah.
They know what they want.
Yeah.
Can you compare the high-value man who's unwilling to commit to the young, attractive woman having her hoe phase?
Yeah. They're both doing the same exact thing.
They're both exercising their options, right?
Because the guy's in his hoe phase also. I wouldn't compare it because when it comes to a male exploring his options, regardless, relationship or not, a guy is going to continue to explore his options because he doesn't run off of feelings, he runs off of lust. With a female, it's lust in your hoe phase, but once you catch feelings, you can really settle down and stop what you're doing. But with a male, you will continue off of lust. A female will stop when she finds her option that she explored that was perfect.
So the hoe phase ends when love comes into play.
Of course. You explore the right option, you're going to end your hoe phase as a female. As a male, you can, be in love with one of your options, but you're going to continue to explore because of your lust.
Okay.
Right, but don't you think that there are some men who are willing to commit because they find love?
I do think there are some, but not many.
She redeemed herself at the end there a little bit. Again, men and women love differently. For a guy, it's just satisfying a hunger. We don't have to open up ourselves emotionally to sleep around with a ton of women. This is why since the beginning of time, men have had concubines, mistresses, extra secret families all over the world, etc. If you were a man of high value, and you still could come home and love your, quote, queen and your family. For us to do the deed, it's purely a physical act that women cannot actually wrap their heads around because for them, they have to emotionally open up first. They do the whole Disney happily ever after in their head. They look at you as Prince Charming. They think, oh my God, we're going to have a family together, settle down, everything's going to be absolutely picture perfect. Then they have sex with you. And when you emotionally bond first or attach in that manner and then have sex, and then guys are constantly leaving you, you become jaded, you become an empty husk, and you get the quote, 1,000-cock stare. It's like soulless. The gray is in their eyes and they get like a resting bitch face too. You could see it on them, like this disgust for the other gender. It's unfortunate to see, man. All could have been avoided if you guarded your body, treated it like a temple, and men would have seen it the same way. But you gave it out for free. Everybody got on the bike, got a ride. And now as you get older, you have to pretend your value increased just to somehow nab, essentially, a dumb beta bob that doesn't know any better, is inexperienced with women, and takes those cues as, oh, she's hard to get. Oh, she's so smart. Oh, she knows what she wants. But quote, Chad got her in her prime years, her very best fertile years, and you're getting her after she's been passed around, after all the damage, all the stuff you have to deal with now. This is why we constantly say women can't play the game the same way men can. They think when a man sleeps around that he's falling in love with 10 different girls. He's just getting his nut and he's done. Later, peace. Why do you think, if you're a woman listening to this, why do you think it's so easy and so common that when you sleep with a guy on the first few nights you see him, that he just ghosts you? Why do you think so many women complain about men pumping and dumping them? If they were getting emotionally attached in the manner you do, ladies, why is it so easy for men to disappear? Think about it. Anyways, another amazing episode of Why It's Complicated. If you haven't already, subscribe on Rumble, become a member of Locals. We're also starting one-on-one interviews and live streaming soon now that the new setup is finished. Excited to start pumping out 10x the content and hanging out with you guys live. That's going to be exciting. And thank you for tuning in. See you next time.